Let's talk hockey for a second. So many of you are in a rush to get to where you want to get without realizing that there's stepping stones you need to go through to get to where you want to be. One of the biggest lessons I learned in my junior career, and that's really when I kind of hit the wall and learned what I needed to learn to move forward. My goalie coach taught me that as a goalie, you have to take things one step at a time. Look at your journey as a staircase. Now, when you're walking upstairs, obviously you're walking, sometimes you're running up. When you try to jump up 3 or 4 steps at a time, tell me, what happens? You usually fall. You miss your step, you break your face, you roll back down. And that's going to happen the same thing in hockey. You got to take it step by step. You start the season here, right? The end goal is to be here so that you win in playoffs, you're dominant, and that every coach wants you the year after. But there's a big gap in between here. You can't jump that gap. You cannot. You might get it 1 out of 10 times, but those other 9 times, you're going to fall and you're going to roll all the way lower. Now, I'm starting the season here. My goal is to win the game. Your goal as a goalie is not to get a shutout, it's to win the game. Your coach wants a goalie that's going to win a game, is going to be there to help the team out when he needs him. So, what do I need to do? I need to have better rebound control. So the first week, I'm working on my rebound control. I'm taking one step. You know what? In that rebound control, my chest got really, really good. There's nothing that bounces out. I took another step. Started playing the puck, making good passes so my defensemen don't have to get killed behind the net. Took another step. Making 2-on-1 saves because I'm reading the play and I'm beating the pass on my feet. Took another step. These are all small steps you take throughout the season to get to that end goal. So many of you start the season and you know what? I'm going to be the best goalie in the league right now. I'm going to stop everything right now. You might start that season on fire. But guess what? Come Christmas time, everybody else followed a plan. They took it step by step. And because of that, they're going to be ahead of you. They're going to be more consistent than you. When it comes time to playoff hockey, and when playoff hockey starts, everybody turns it up a notch. You already went to that highest level, and now you're stuck. So you might have been the best goalie in the league at the time, but now you might be the backup goalie on your team. For players, it's the same thing. You might have started the season putting up 3 points a game, and that's unbelievable. 3 points a game. Everybody hates to play against you. They're worried about you. Come the end of the season, you're putting up a point every 3 games. You're on the 3rd line. You're on the 4th line. You're not even a power play or a PK guy anymore. You're not playing the last 5 minutes of the game because you rushed the process. Now, for players, it's different than goalies. I'm not going to lie. You guys peak a little earlier, and it's not as hard to take those steps. As a goalie, our development, our peak is later than players. Our development is slower. We play a much more complex position than they do. I'm sorry, players, it's the truth. You need to take it step by step. That is one of the biggest mistakes I made when I was playing. I didn't take it step by step. I always wanted to jump. I wanted to be the best now. I needed to be the best now. And every time I used to hit that wall, roll back down, and be in a slump. And you know what happens in a slump? It's kind of the same thing like quicksand. You get in this quicksand, you start to realize what it is, and you start to freak out. Okay, I got to get out of here. What do I do to get out of here? And you start to panic. But the more you panic, the more you try to do. The more you try to do, the faster you sink. Until a point where you can't breathe anymore. You dug yourself in so deep that you can't breathe anymore. You're stuck. And there's no way to get out. It's the same thing with hockey. You start to go bad. You start to go downhill. You start sinking. Now, holy crap, I got to get back on track because the scouts are watching, the coaches are watching. He's not going to play me anymore. I'm not going to get my minutes. I'm not going to play well. My stats are going to suck. See how fast I rambled on there? Same thing that goes through your head. And you start to sink faster and faster and faster. To the point where you can't take it anymore. And you break down. And that's when your season comes crashing and it's over. And you'll see guys with the numbers. I personally had a season like that in college. My junior year. I started off really well in my first 2 games. Had a really bad game. And I started digging more and more because I wasn't playing at the beginning of the season because we had a draft pick who needed to sign that year. So they had to play him. And I took it personally. And I started to sink deeper and deeper and deeper. Until I got to a point where I was doing so much extra work to try to catch up because I thought that's what I was missing, that I got hurt. And I tried to play injured and I make myself worse. And I hurt myself even worse to the point where I can't play now. All because I didn't take it one step at a time. All because I didn't see that the small things add up to a bigger picture. But I wanted that bigger picture right away. I want to finish this video off by telling you guys that this game is beautiful. It doesn't last forever. It doesn't. Your days are numbered. If you just finished Bantam Hockey, and I'm saying this for the team I coached, if you just finished Bantam Hockey, your days are numbered. Okay? Competitive hockey ends for you very soon. You're going to blink, your season's going to be over. Year 1 of midget, year 2 of midget, year 3 of midget. And guess what? If you weren't good enough, you're not going to play junior hockey. And that's okay. It's going to happen to a lot of you, unfortunately. I'm sorry to say it. So with the time you have left, stop worrying about the scouts. Stop worrying of, I didn't get a shutout today. Stop worrying about, I didn't score 3 goals today. Take it game by game. Enjoy the time with your team. Enjoy the time you have on the ice. You can't get that back. You can't snap your fingers and go back 2 years in the past and do it all over again. So have fun with it. Make it memorable. Give it everything you got so that when that time comes where somebody tells you it's your last ever shift, you enjoyed it, you don't regret it, and you know what? You made the most of every second you've had.